Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. It is the day before Thanksgiving 2016, so I'd like to wish everyone a early happy Thanksgiving. Hope that you guys are able to spend some time with your family and loved ones. It's always a good time to catch up with people that you sometimes don't get to see that often during the year. So anyways, today I have kind of a two-part video for you. One, to kind of just give you an overview of this Native 5 sprint run, and also to kind of talk about my continuing journey with sharpening S90V steel. So for those of you guys who follow the channel, I recently posted a video on a Yojimbo 2 in S90V, and that knife kind of gave me a little bit of trouble with sharpening. So I just wanted to kind of provide another data point here, and kind of let you guys know my thoughts as my experiences kind of progress with the steel. So without any delay, let's go ahead and start talking about the knife here. So this is the Native 5 lightweight sprint run Spyderco forum knife 2015. So this was a knife that was produced as an exclusive for the Spyderco forum, and this knife is wearing these really attractive maroon FRN or copolymer handles, if you want to call them that. I think they're technically copolymer, not true FRN, which is, I believe, a little bit more durable, feels just kind of a little bit nicer in hand. Other than that, the knife is pretty much identical to the other lightweight native models, except for the blade steel. So as I mentioned before here, we have CPM S90V, which is a high-end, very wear-resistant steel, very high vanadium content, or vanadium carbides, I should say, which gives the steel its wear resistance and also maybe some potential headaches out there for sharpeners. So really nice knife. I was just kind of thinking that Spyderco likes to make a lot of exclusives or special run knives in the native. I think they do it basically so anyone who wants an exclusive knife or a special version knife can have one. They're not limiting anyone in terms of size restrictions or things like that. Certain states have laws on what they can carry and not. So I believe their idea is to pick something kind of smaller. That way, no one is left out if they would like to go ahead and pick up one of these models. So really nice. Like the handle scale color. It's really attractive. Has kind of a nice kind of neutral color, not overpowering, but just a little bit of color there for you. So anyways, so let's talk about the steel here now, in my experience. So as I mentioned last time, the Yojimbo 2 in S90V, that knife gave me a little bit of trouble in terms of, getting my last final edge on that knife. It's kind of hard to say exactly what the, difference was with that knife. But I will say that this knife sharpened up much easier, gave me absolutely no trouble in the sharpening process. So, went through my normal progression of stones, starting with a 120 up to a 240, 400, 600, and then I finish on about a 5 micron diamond strop and a 2.5 micron diamond strop, I believe. And that brought the edge, right where I wanted it to be. So, let me go ahead and I'll just show you guys quickly how this guy sharpened up. So really sharp, no issues there at all. So that's kind of interesting. Got me to thinking, what's different with this S90V than the S90V and the Yojimbo 2? And I have a couple ideas. So I was talking with my friend Michael Christie. He mentioned that he thought his Yojimbo 2 had a little bit harder, S90V in terms of Rockwell compared to other knives that he had sharpened. So that could be a contributing factor. I think another possibility is that just the overall edge geometry on this native is a little bit better than the Yojimbo 2. So this full flat ground knife is definitely set up a little bit better to be a slicing knife than the Yojimbo. If you remember, on that knife it has kind of a hollow ground knife, which is, it's pretty thin behind the edge, but it kind of thickens up a little bit, for some added strength, kind of given the design and purpose of that knife, you may want a little bit of a tougher edge than, super thin for a defensive blade. So I'm kind of thinking at this point, guys, that knife probably, the Ojimbo, probably had harder S90V than this knife, and I believe I had probably just a little bit of a persistent burr on the edge of that knife that I just was having trouble, cleaning off. Maybe that and the combination of the edge geometry being a little bit different in this knife is kind of my my idea at the moment in terms of why there was a difference between these blades. So, I'm glad I had another opportunity to sharpen a knife in S90V because, like I said before, it's kind of a rare steel. I don't really see it very often. There's not a whole lot of knives that are being produced in S90V. Spyderco has a couple. Benchmade has a couple, -1 variants like the 940 that they put S90 on, but by and large, it's kind of a rare steel to see. It's definitely not common steel to see with my my sharpening service. So just for me, in terms of a sharpener and professional in the field, I like to have as many experiences as I can and just kind of get a feel for things. And if I get something along that kind of gives me a little bit of trouble, I kind of like to figure out why and see what I can do and learn from that experience and see if maybe I can provide some information to other people out there that might be having some similar problems or observations. So second time around, I would say S90V is really not the terrible steel that a lot of people make it out to be. It definitely takes a little while to sharpen, but it really wasn't too terrible. It really took a very nice edge. This is just a standard edge on this knife here. This isn't a mirror polish or anything. This is up to 600 grit. But, compared to some other steels, I can't really say it was that terrible. It took a little more time, but, was able to raise a burr pretty easily with all my stones and move through it. And I would say I probably spent, maybe 35, 40 minutes on this knife to get it where I wanted it to be. So, no crazy issues. So, not really afraid of the steel, as some people maybe, suggest you should be. But definitely you need to have the right equipment for higher carbide steels like this. Definitely need some stones like silica carbide or even diamonds for the initial reprofiling shaping of the edge. Past that point, I assume you could probably use something like aluminum oxide, but honestly, I've seen some issues sharpening higher carbide steels with softer stones. There's a theory that the softer stones kind of tear out the vanadium carbides from the steel matrix, and they don't really cut them because vanadium carbide is much harder than aluminum oxide. So just something to kind of keep in mind there. It's kind of an anecdotal observation. I think some other folks have mentioned similar things to me in conversation about sharpening higher carbide steels with softer versus harder stones. So so let me go ahead and wrap this up here. I always say I'm going to do a short video, and here I'm pushing 9 minutes already. So but yeah, very, very nice knife, native 5 S90V. These are discontinued, obviously, being a 2015 sprint run, but you still can find these on secondary markets. Just this afternoon on the Spyderco group on Facebook, there was a gentleman selling one of these brand new for, I believe, $110. So you can still find these for a pretty good deal. If you search around, you should be able to find one for about $110, $120. And, if you want to collect it or use it, I think, either way, it would serve you, very well. That said, there is a lightweight version out now in Spyderco's S110V line for about the same price, brand new, $110 with blue, FRCP, I believe the term is, on the handle scales there. So, Given that that's out, I would probably take the 110V over the 90V. In my experience, 110V, it sharpens up a little bit better. I think I get a little better edge on it. It's a little more forgiving to the sharpening process if you're not exact with it. And you're going to get a little better edge retention out of 110V also. So, but anyways, still a very good knife. Maybe you can find one, for a good deal. So, well, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Have some more stuff in the pipes here in the near future coming for you guys. So, with that said, again, hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. And eat a lot of turkey and spend some time with your family and loved ones. So maybe also pick up a few knives or order some knives for the holidays for Christmas gifts, things like that. Maybe there's some good deals coming up, for Black Friday and all that stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.